The biggest South Korean YouTuber was hiding a secret. Her channel name is Ji-young. She has over 10 million subscribers. She's a mukbanger, so she eats on camera for a living. It's said that she can eat 30,000 calories in a single day. Just to give you an idea, the average recommended calorie consumption for the average American ranges from 1,600 calories to 2,400 calories in a single day. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but that means if you do the math, she eats well over 2 weeks worth of food for the average American in a single day. She stated that by herself, she can eat 40 servings of tripe, 110 plates of sushi rolls, 22 pounds of yellowfish, the sushi, 20 bags of ramen, and 20 servings of beef, all by herself. This is even before she started eating on camera. She said there was a time when she had no money back then, where she went to this all-you-can-eat buffet because she couldn't really afford to go anywhere else to fill her stomach. And it was a cheap buffet. And afterwards, she walks out of there belly full, and she felt so bad for the owners because they likely lost a ton of money because of her, that she never went back to another buffet ever again.
Really?
Yeah, and what's crazy is she eats like a competitive eater, but I would say that that is not the reason that people are subscribed to Ji-young. 1 in every 6 South Koreans is subscribed to Ji-young's YouTube channel because she has this way about her. She seems incredibly sweet. She has this bubbly, energetic energy where she seems to really savor every last bite of the food, and she makes it very entertaining to watch her. It doesn't just seem like, wow, look at this person who can eat so much food. It seems warm. It seems like a companion. That's her image. She even recently collaborated with Gordon Ramsay, and people just love her in South Korea. She's actually one of the most well-perceived influencers in South Korea, which is very difficult to pull off. But there was always something a little bit weird about Ji-young and her YouTube videos, okay? Some people noticed them and even commented on them years ago. Whenever Ji-young wore short sleeves, she would have bruises up and down her arms. There would be random discussions in the comment section. Some people thought it was alarming, but most people argued it's probably from grilling. She would have these mukbang videos where she's grilling like 100 dumplings in one pan, and the pan itself is honestly the size of her torso. Of course, she's gonna get her arms burnt on the side. She's moving around. She's probably restarting the camera, leaning over. She's getting her utensils, and she seems a little bit, in the nicest, most loving way possible, she seems a little bit clumsy. She doesn't seem like someone who's just always, fluid in her movements. And the barbecue, the 40 pounds of tripe, when you grill that up, guess what? Oil splatters, and it's probably splattering all over her arms. I mean, think about it. Even if she goes grocery shopping with the amount of food consumption she has, that's a lot of food she's hauling into her apartment. But the bruises were large. I mean, they're big, purple. I would say that the bruises on her videos, on her arm, are maybe credit card shaped, if not larger. They're large bruises, and they're oddly not circular. Because you know how if you knock into something, you almost get more of a bit of a circular bruise? Yeah. They look more square or rectangular. And she would just constantly say that she's always clumsy if she ever briefly addressed it. In some of her videos, she will have bandages on multiple fingers, up and down her arms. But again, nobody suspected anything that sinister, considering, again, she has this bright, cheerful personality. They thought if she's going through something bad, let's say worst case scenario, what do bruises mean? Maybe you're getting hit. If she's going through that, there's no way that she would be able to smile so brightly on camera. That just doesn't make sense. But the truth is, she was being beat. Ji-young was forced into creating a mukbang channel, and when she wasn't filming, she was beaten twice a day for years. Audio has recently surfaced, and in it, you hear a man's voice screaming, shut up, you stupid bitch. Didn't I tell you not to do this?" You can hear Ji-young, the #1 most subscribed YouTuber in South Korea, crying in the background, begging him not to do this to her, begging him to stop and spare her life. Ji-young was forced to mukbang so someone could profit millions of dollars. One of the top YouTubers in the world on a global scale had effectively been held hostage for 4 years and forced to produce YouTube videos. This sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the world's central kitchen. Just a couple of days ago, July 24th, 2024, they successfully distributed 11,000 meal kits in northern Gaza and have created a network of Palestinian-led community kitchens around Gaza. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we would also like to thank our listeners for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. Now, before we get started, a few quick disclaimers on today's case. It is ongoing. There are constant updates. There's new pieces of information constantly coming out, which two things about that. One, this video will have updates until the publishing date, of course, and we will try to keep you updated in the pinned comment if anything crazy develops. And two, this case involves a lot of different YouTubers and it has the potential to get pretty messy. This is what we know so far, and we don't know if things are going to get refuted, if things are going to get disproven. There's a lot of people involved who may have incentive to lie for their benefit, so please do take things with a grain of salt. And with that being said, the YouTuber that is at the center of this controversy is not someone that this disclaimer applies to. Jiang is not a part of this disclaimer. We are not discrediting a victim's experience. The disclaimer to take things with a grain of salt applies to basically everybody else except for her story. So keep that in mind. This is also a South Korean case. We had help from professional researchers. However, if anything is mistranslated, miscommunicated, or if you know anything additional, please let us know down in the comments. Some statements have been condensed for time, and with that, there are mentions of blackmail, domestic violence, and a brief mention of self-exit. So please, if that's too much, click off, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. So with that being said, let's get into it. There's going to be a lot of YouTubers, and I'm going to tell you straight off the bat which ones are going to be very, very important. The first YouTuber we're talking about is a South Korean YouTuber by the name of Akarakacho, and that's literally just his YouTube channel name. That's not his government name, so we're going to call him AK for Akarakacho, okay? AK. He has a very interesting online persona. He's kind of a crypto guy. He's very much into the crypto space. If there's new updates on Bitcoin, if there's new updates on any of the cryptocurrencies, he's going to be talking about it. He loves to start little new businesses with the crypto world. That's what he's known for. But he's friends with a lot of other YouTubers that aren't even in the crypto space. So one of his closest friends at the time is a YouTuber by the name of Kujaeuk. Now, his YouTube channel name is Kujaeuk, so we're going to call him Jay of Kujaeuk, but that's not his actual name. That's just how everyone, even the news, is currently referring to him, so I don't want to use his legal name. Now, side note, his channel name, it literally means, it's the phrase of helping the underdog, helping someone that has been wronged, helping a victim. And so he's built his whole career on helping people. That's what he says. Now, in the past, when he first started his YouTube channel, he did a lot of random things. He was trying to do a little bit of expose videos, and then he tried singing videos, gaming videos, reviews, experiments. He was just trying to figure out what was going to stick. A lot of people initially really liked him because he had these vlogs where he would take care of his mother who had dementia, and they thought, wow, this 32-year-old man is so sweet and he's so attentive to his mother, and it's just so refreshing to see that online. But in 2020, Kujaeuk, Jay, starts making a shift in his content. He starts becoming part of the Wrecker Union. That's what they call themselves. It's a group of YouTubers in South Korea called the Wrecker Union, kind of like a wrecking ball. And their whole thing, their whole career is making expose videos on other influencers, celebrities, businessmen, nepo babies, criminals. That's it. They like to wreck their reputations, wreck their careers, wreck their online personas, wreck their image, which you would think is a good thing. Because if they did something wreck-worthy, they're going to get wrecked, right? But the thing with Jay is, he's kind of a controversial person. He would not investigate that much. He would just ask people, his own viewers, hey, send in some reports. If you have something fascinating about someone, send it in and I'll look into it. I mean, technically, people could try to fabricate things. I feel like he did a lot more harm than good. There were instances where he alleged that a party would take drugs and have group intimate sessions with each other. All of that turned out to be false. He's already being investigated by the prosecutors for a few instances of spreading false allegations and rumors. In fact, he has been sued more than 30 times since he started YouTube, primarily for defamation. He's also just known to hate women. I mean, I imagine that if Jay calls you a feminist, that is a super derogatory term for him. That's not a compliment. He seems to objectify women a lot. So Crypto AK and Underdog J, they're best friends. Now, behind closed doors, they were trying to get involved in like this new cryptocurrency, and they had purchased all the crypto coins off of Jay's phone. And for whatever reason, Crypto AK decides, hey Jay, I need to see your phone again so that I can sell some of my coins and transfer my coins. Can I borrow your phone for a second? Underdog Jay gives AK his phone, and he brings it back to his room where he takes a copy of his phone. Imagine you get your friend's phone and you back it up to your computer. It seems like he just always had bad intentions. It seems like all these people have bad intentions. So he takes a copy of Underdog Jay's phone into his computer, and he doesn't really look at it, or so that's the story. He doesn't look at that copy until a few weeks later. Underdog Jay goes on to live stream and posts a picture of Crypto AK's family, including a picture of his wife and a picture that is unblurred of his minor child.
Why did he do that?
It just seems like he was talking and he just posted a picture, and later Crypto AK is like, hey, I haven't posted my family. Can you please take that down? And Jay did not want to. Jay was like, I don't know what the big deal is. And it caused a whole problem. According to AK, his child was getting bullied. Like, it was causing issues with his relationship with his wife. It was just unfortunate. And he was stating, if that's my friend, why can't he just take it down? Like, why can't he just do what I asked him to do? It's my privacy. And so for that reason, the alleged story is that Crypto AK starts going through the backup that he has of Underdog Jay's phone on his computer, and he starts searching for anything bad to just get back at him, level the playing field, honestly get revenge, because if you're gonna post private details about my family, maybe I need to post private details about yours. AK goes onto Jay's phone, or the backup, and he finds something. He finds blackmail audio of Jay and another YouTuber colluding to blackmail someone. They're talking about, okay, we're gonna blackmail this person. How much money do you think we can get out of them? It's basically a crime. Blackmail and extortion, those are crimes.
But AK is like going through Jay's phone.
Yeah.
Almost like blackmailing Jay.
Precisely.
But instead, he found Jay trying to blackmail someone else.
Exactly. So none of these people are good people so far. Like, they're doing everything for really insidious reasons. He finds this little blackmail audio tape of these two YouTubers, and he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to expose this to the world, because guess what? Underdog Jay, he constantly says that he's for the underdogs. Literally, that's his channel opening. That's what he talks about in every single video. And here he is literally committing crimes with another YouTuber, doing some dirty, nasty stuff, such as blackmail and extortion. That's disgusting. So he takes the audio tapes and he decides that he's going to send them to a cyber wrecker. You're like, what is a cyber wrecker? A cyber wrecker is a classification of YouTuber in South Korea. So you know how in America we have beauty influencers, we have mukbangers, we have all these different things. Cyber wrecker is also a division of YouTube,
really?
Like a niche in YouTube. And they're truly just to wreck people's perceptions of other people's reputations.
Like expose? Is it like commentary?
It's more like exposés. I wouldn't say it's commentary. It's a little bit different. So commentary, in America, you have so many commentary channels. And when a situation occurs, someone commits a crime, let's say a celebrity commits a crime, all the commentary channels are going to comment on it because that's what they do. Now, cyber wreckers, they're in the business of timing. They want to get privileged information. They want to get the inside source, and they want to be the one to release the information first. They're almost in a time war. So originally, I thought cyber wrecker was literally spelled like the wrecking ball wrecker, but it's actually spelled like with an R. And it's because in South Korea, when you get into a car accident, let's say you're driving on the highway, you get into a car crash, you pull over to the side, suddenly you look up and there's 10 tow trucks. They just drive around looking for car accidents, and they start fighting you for business. There will be 10 tow truck drivers standing there witnessing you stressed out trying to get the other car accident person's insurance, trying to get their driver's license, and they're just shouting numbers at you. No, you come with us.
They just want business.
Yes. So they look for these bad accidents. They look for negative energy is kind of the theme that they say, and they stop and they try to be the first one there.
So you're saying these cyber wreckers are like that?
That's what they're, yeah.
Kind of like shark in the water.
Yeah, they're circling for blood. Now, of course, there's good ways to do it. I mean, some of them had okay reputations because they would actually help the public, the general public. But a lot of them don't have good reputations. They're almost seen as like foaming at the mouth to get the inside details. For example, you know the Chodosun case that we did? You guys all know that case. I'm going to link it below. But there were a bunch of cyber wreckers that had shown up to his house after he was released from prison, which this is a criminal who essayed a little 8-year-old girl, and he got out of prison recently in South Korea. They all showed up to his new house, and they were just filming, ordering pizza, ordering jjajangmyeon, remember?
Oh, that was dumb.
They're cyber wreckers. They're getting into fights in front of the building. They're causing disturbances. The neighbors hated them. They're cyber wreckers.
Wow, this is so fascinating. I didn't know.
So they do want to get the first blood in the water. They want to break the news. The goal is to be the first one to break the unfortunate news. Probably the best example of a cyber wrecker is a YouTuber by the name of Karacula. He is one of the biggest. He's actually a detective affiliated with the Korea Licensed Private Investigators Association in South Korea. He started his channel because 10 years ago, he had gone out to dinner with his uncle, and on the way back home, his uncle was hit by a drunk driver and he passed away in front of him. And he just said that he felt this undying rage toward drunk drivers, which is why he started investigating and exposing drunk driving incidents that involve celebrities and influencers, as well as news anchors and Nepo babies. Because oftentimes in South Korea, it's a little bit different from America, where names are not made public. When people commit crimes, you have to go through a whole process back then for their names to become public information, even if they're convicted of the crime. He was also the one that exposed the identity of the Busan spinning kick incident, where a man, if you remember, we talked about that case where a man literally spun in the elevator, kicked a stranger, a woman, in the elevator lobby of her own apartment building, and then dragged her to the stairs where there was no CCTV camera. And likely essayed her. He's the one that revealed his identity. He's also the one that helped reveal the blackmailer's identity for the Parasite actors case.
Oh, the woman, two women?
Yes, that blackmailed him. Yes.
Wow.
And that, I mean, he's probably one of the biggest cyber wreckers. His name is Karacula. Now, AK does not send the audio files to Karacula. Instead, he sends it to another cyber wrecker by the name of Pansuk. Again, not his legal name, just his YouTube channel name. We're going to call him Pan. Now, Pan gets the audio files and he has it in his hands. He's sitting on it for a second because there's just too many things happening on YouTube right now. He gets the audio files, but he's distracted because the Miryang 44 case is developing. I feel like these are so many references. I'm so sorry, but it's just all intertwined and there's no way to separate any of them. So if you guys don't know, we actually did an episode on the Miryang 44 case before all of these new developments, and we're going to do an updated episode very, very soon. But just to give you some context on how all of this fits into today's case.
That's crazy. Like, these are some of the biggest cases in Korea, and they're all somehow connected. By these YouTubers. Some of them have like 100,000 subscribers, but they've all got their fingers in all the biggest like mainstream news. Like, they actually are a part of the case. They're not just reporting on it. They're actually a part of it. Karacula was actually part of most of these cases. That's crazy. Wow. So Pan, he gets these audio files and he's too busy, he's too distracted by Miryang 44 case. Now, this year, 2024, is the 20-year anniversary that everything has taken place. A middle school girl was lured out by a boy texting her online. She thought that she was going to go meet up with a potential boyfriend, but instead she goes to the city of Miryang and she gets jumped by a group of 10 to 12 teenage boys that gang essay her. She's in middle school. They film the entire assault and they show her the video afterwards, and they tell her, if you tell anybody about this assault, we're going to release this video to your school, your family members, your parents. Everyone is going to see this video and your life is going to be over. She ends up truly having no choice but to try and do everything in her power to make sure that this video never sees the light of day. The group of guys essaying her would call her, forcing her to meet up with them again and again at warehouses, tennis courts, just random areas where different group of high schoolers would surround her and gang essay her multiple times over the span of over a year.
So Miryang is the city in South Korea where this took place, and 44 is the number of at least 44 confirmed essayers that were involved. However, it said that there were at least 100 accomplices involved in the torturing of this young girl. Eventually, the perpetrators would victimize the original victim's younger sister, younger cousin. Eventually, there were 5 victims in total, and when the authorities finally catch wind of this case, they let 44 confirmed essayers and the over 100 accomplices just go with barely a slap on their wrist. Absolutely none of them received a felony or were even charged on their record, so their rap sheets stayed completely blank, which also means that their identities were protected. Until 2024, until this year. A group of YouTubers have been outing each of the perpetrators' identities one by one. I mean, this has been such a big deal in South Korea. Mainstream media news outlets have been talking about it nonstop. Governors, police, they're all getting involved. It's a huge legal situation of, are they even allowed to do this right now? How are they not getting sued? What if they accidentally give the wrong name? Like, there's just been so much discourse about it, which will all get touched on a later episode. But where does Pan get involved in all of this? Well, he's got the blackmail tapes of these 2 YouTubers colluding to blackmail another person, and he listens to all of the audio, and he's sitting there thinking to himself, likely, this is probably the only thing that might be as big as the Miryang updates. The Miryang 44 case, this might be the only thing that's as crazy that might take over mainstream news. He's listening to it, and it involves Jay and another YouTuber by the name of Chujak. We're gonna call him Jin, because Chujak, again, is just his channel name, okay? And the word itself means detecting manipulation. It's like staged.
They all have these very, like, you know, justice type of name.
Yeah, I would say, okay, so Chujak is a little bit different. Jay, he's truly, his whole marketing shtick is, I'm for the underdog. Chujak is a little bit different. It's a little bit lower stakes. So Jin, all of his videos used to consist of him sitting there and just pointing out the stagedness of other YouTubers' videos. He's like, this couple's video is staged, and let me show you why. This YouTuber, this whole thing of him running into a stranger is staged. This YouTuber who is rescuing a puppy, it's staged. So it's a little bit lower stakes than, I guess, you know, crime, but
okay, so to recap, Jay and Jim are blackmailing someone.
Yes.
And there's a tape of them talking.
Yes.
AK got the tape and passed it on to
Pan.
And Pan is sitting there listening to the first tape.
Yes.
And he's thinking about something.
He's thinking, wow, this could honestly be as big as the Miryang case. Like, it's crazy. This could be the next explosive conversation on social media and even mainstream media. I mean, it's huge. Because these 2 YouTubers, Jay and Jin, they're talking about blackmailing only the biggest YouTuber in South Korea to reveal the fact that Jiyoung used to work at a hostess bar before starting her YouTube channel. This is exactly what Pan might need to help pivot the conversation, allegedly. Allegedly, Pan has interest to have everybody stop talking about the Miryang 44 case because he's friends with the perpetrators.
What?
So he decides.
Wait, so he's not just trying to break the news.
He doesn't even release the tapes himself. He sends it to another YouTuber. He just wants, allegedly, what everybody thinks is that he just wants the conversation to not be about Miryang 44. He wants there to be a new news.
That is crazy. And he is a YouTuber that talks about what usually?
He's a cyber wrecker.
He's a cyber wrecker.
He's a cyber wrecker. He
that
actually
exposes people.
Yeah, there's so much. It gets a little bit crazier, and we're going to talk about it in the Miryang 44 update episode. But he also does get involved in the Miryang case, and he almost gets canceled for it. So that's why there might be incentive for him to try and stop the conversation around Miryang 44.
Wow.
There's alleged evidence, that he is friends with many of the perpetrators.
Wow.
So he's trying to pivot the whole conversation away from it.
He's trying to protect his friends.
Yes, and himself, and this might be the only thing that could stop it. So he decides, I'm not going to release it because he's already in a ton of shit for the Miryang 44 case and allegedly being friends with perpetrators. So he sends these blackmail audio tapes to another YouTuber, and he's like, hey, you release it. Because to him, it's not about getting views or attention to his channel. It's about pivoting the conversation away from Miryang 44 into something crazier or bigger or more interesting. That's his incentive, allegedly. So he sends it to a YouTuber by the name of Kim Se-hee. We're going to call him Kim. Now, it is important to note, just like AK and just like Pan, Kim is not really a good person. So AK, who originally finds the blackmail audio tapes, he knows that this is going to hurt Jiyoung when he listens to it, clearly.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm going to send it to a different YouTuber because I don't care. I want revenge on Jay. He posted a picture of my family. So this is my revenge. Who cares if Jiyoung gets wrecked for it? So he sends it to Pan. Pan hears it and he's like, wow, Jiyoung is gonna get ruined if I release these audio tapes. But literally, I don't care because I just wanna protect my friends, allegedly, that are part of this Miryang case. So then he sends it to Kim Se-hee. Now, Kim is a crazy, insane right-wing person. I mean, he's described as ultra hardline conservative to the point where I think his favorite type of human is incel. He's just truly I don't even know if I want to call him fascinating, or I don't know what the nicest word I could use that is not that nice, but he just cares about power and attention, and he's trying to break out into becoming a politician. He's like the incel king. I don't think he himself is an incel, but he is just kind of unhinged. So one of the best things for him right now would be to get attention. It would also to be aligning himself on the younger kid's side. So he listens to these blackmail audio tapes and he's thinking, this is so fascinating. I think that if I post this, I'm going to get a lot of attention because Jiyoung is not a political person. She's only the most subscribed YouTuber in South Korea, the biggest YouTuber. And so if I release news and drama that involves her, I'm going to get a lot of young people who might not watch my channel because it's too political for them, too adult for them. This is going to blow it up. I mean, who cares about hurting her?
This is crazy.
Because if I post it, my career is going to get better.
Right.
So he decides he's going to expose the blackmail audio tapes for the greater good. The greater good being him. Also, he hates Caracula. Yeah, remember Caracula, the cyber wrecker that's pretty well liked, right? Apparently, Kim allegedly tried blackmailing Caracula once. Now, this is a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt, but the rumor goes like this. Kim heard a rumor that the great Caracula, the people's YouTuber, had dirt on another crypto influencer. And instead of exposing the crypto influencer for being a fraud, he blackmailed him. He said, hey, I won't make a video exposing you and ruining your career if you give me money under the table.
Who blackmailed him?
Caracula, allegedly. But
wait,
then
so
Kim,
Caracula, hold on. Caracula also blackmailed
is
people.
The allegation, is a rumor. Now, the rumor is that Kim heard about this.
Wait, so everybody's blackmailing so far? Like every single person you mentioned so far?
Everybody's a blackmailer. These like good YouTubers, wholesome justice warriors, they're blackmailers.
That is so
this is like their process. If they find bad information about an influencer, it seems like the first thing they'll do is go to them privately and say, hey, give me money. And if they don't, they'll make the video.
I don't know what to say. This doesn't even sound real.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Kim knew that about him.
Allegedly. And the rumor is that Kim then went to Caracula and said, hey, pay me money. Because I know you asked for money from the crypto influencer.
The chain of blackmailing.
He blackmailed the blackmailer, allegedly. I don't know if it happened. I don't know if it worked. But if it did, this seems like a happy coincidence that Kim Se-hee can potentially take down a bunch of YouTubers in one swoop and get a bunch of attention to his channel.
Why is this related to Caracula?
Because even Caracula is part of the blackmail tapes.
What do you mean? I thought it was just two people, Jay and Jin.
There's multiple audio tapes, and Caracula is in one of them. Like, all these justice warriors are going down. I'm about to tell you. July 10th of this year, like literally this month, the Blackmail audio is released by Kim Se-hee on his YouTube channel. Now, the video states essentially that there are YouTubers famous for exposing criminals, but guess what, guys? They themselves are criminals. Take a look. He releases the first audio tape, which is a phone call between Jay and Jin, the original two YouTubers. Mm-hmm. Jay answers the phone while recording the call, which is why we have the tapes. And he says, hey, Jin. Hey, is the meeting over, Jay? Yeah, the meeting's finished. Oh, okay. So I was just calling to talk about the thing that I mentioned earlier about Jiyoung. Have I mentioned this before to you at all? No, you haven't. I heard about it like 3 years ago and I've been keeping it to myself, but I think it's true though, right? Like what they're saying about Jiyoung? Oh, it's not even comparable to what you think. Wait, what? Why is that? Because, listen, Jin, if this news comes out about Jiyoung, she's gonna have no choice but to retire.
What?
Oh, isn't this her about being from Redacted? So filling in the blanks, it seems like they're asking, oh, is this about her working out that hostess bar? And they state the hostess bar.
Okay.
To which Jay responds, it's not even just about her working at that hostess bar. She worked at Redacted and Redacted. Yeah, that's right. On top of that, there are rumors that Jiyoung was a school bully.
이거 아니 그거잖아요. 찌양이 그거 출신을 말하니요?
출신만 있는 게 아니에요. 그 출신 그 뭐냐 에서 일했었고.
그러니까 예 맞아요.
여기에다 그거도 있다고. 그 학폭 가해자.
They briefly mentioned that the former CEO of Jiyoung's agency and management agency is also in a bit of a scandal. Apparently, the former CEO of Jiyoung's agency is being sued for SA and for domestic violence. They also state that the two of them have some weird history. Basically, Jiyoung's management agency CEO was the manager at the hostess bar that she allegedly worked at before becoming a YouTuber. So they moved to YouTube together, like to the industry together. It's just confusing so far. Now, Jin is asking Jay, because it seems like Jin is asking Jay for advice. Like the conversation, it seems like Jay is the one with more power.
Jay, okay.
Now, Jin asks, but isn't it better just to cover it up for Jiyoung and get some money out of her? I mean, to be honest, realistically, isn't it better to resolve this amicably with the current agency that she's working with and, you know, rather than exposing it for whatever benefit that we might get out of it, out of a video? It can get very messy, no? Do you think that they're going to resolve it nicely, Jin? I mean, me personally, I don't trust Jiyoung. I mean, they'll probably give us a good cut since Jiyoung is making good money, right? Yeah, but I can't trust Jiyoung. I'm afraid I'm gonna eat the money and get drunk. That's how he says it, but I guess a better translation would be, I'm afraid of getting burned after taking the money. But the verbiage that he uses in Korean is really aggressive, almost like a kind of a gangster verbiage, but he's talking very professionally. It's like, I eat the money and I get 취해서 drunk. It's just a very gross...
Okay, so Jin is saying, should we just get some money out of this information?
He's talking to Jay as if it's a win-win situation. Jiyoung gets to keep her career and we make some money. Come on, like why wouldn't anybody want this? Why wouldn't Jiyoung want this? Like everybody comes out on top. And Jay is saying, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. I'm scared that I'm going to take the money and some shit's going to go down, basically. And Jin is like, but we know what we know, and it's huge, right? I mean, can she even refuse the blackmail request? So isn't it better to just take a few thousand, 10,000, 20,000, just clean?
$10,000, $20,000?
At least. He's saying maybe even like 100K.
Whoa.
And just take it very cleanly.
That's crazy.
But why do you say that you can't trust Jiyoung? I'm afraid she's going to backstab me later. See, that is a problem, actually. I guess that is an issue. Honestly, Jin, I'm pretty good at this. I've done this before. I'm really good. To be honest, that's how I bought my car and stuff.
Oh, wait, who's saying this?
Jay Underdog Jay is saying that's how I bought my new Genesis GV50 or something, GV80.
By blackmailing others.
Yes.
우와.
저는 이거 잘해요. 저 이거 솔직히 얘기해서 잘하는데 이런 거 잘하고 뭐 그래서 뭐 GV 팔공도 사고 그런 건데 그게 약간 이런 거 할 때 저도 감이라는 게 있잖아요. 2년.
And he says, when I do this kind of thing, I can just feel it. You know, this person, that person, whether they're going to give money or not, how much they can give, I can kind of sense it. You feel that Jiyoung is going to give the money cleanly or she's going to backstab you later, and you feel like she's going to backstab you later? I mean, I'd have to meet with her in the agency in person to really know. To be honest, I don't think so. They seem like people that are crazy about money. If they can't make money anymore, that's going to be very bad. I think they're going to try to prevent the exposure of this news by any means necessary. And you know, I got a lot of expenses coming up these days too, so it might be the time. He's like, I have some bills to pay.
Yeah.
And the two of them continue to talk about how Jiyoung got caught for tax evasion. To which Jin continues, I mean, Jiyoung just seems shady, no matter how you look at it, but her image online seems to be so well crafted for people. So I'm thinking, I was trying to make contact, right? But if you expose Jiyoung, if you make a video on Jiyoung, my negotiating power with Jiyoung's side decreases. So I just wanted to discuss it. He's like, hey, this is what he's saying. Hey, before I blackmail Jiyoung, can you let me know if you're going to make a video? Because if you expose the news, then I can't really blackmail her for it. It's now public information.
Crazy.
Underdog Jay is saying, I don't know. First, I need to meet with them in person to know if they're safe or dangerous people. And he says, but I'm going to make a video in advance. Wait, really? What do you mean?
한번 일단 저는 영상을 미리 만들어 놓을 거예요. 왜냐면은
진짜로?
아니 왜냐면 이들이 내가 이거 영화를 봤잖아.
뭐라고? 이걸 뭐라고?
내가 취재 요청을 하잖아요.
네네네.
그러면은 지들이 먼저 상수 쳐가지고 자백하면서 해명하고 막 감성팔이하고 이지를 하더라고요.
Now, Jay goes on to say that he's going to make a video and unlist it onto YouTube. So what that means is he's going to film a YouTube video, like from start to finish. Hi, my name is Jay, the YouTuber. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm exposing Jiyoung today. He's going to edit it, post it onto YouTube. And in the video settings of YouTube, you can make it unlisted. Now, unlisted means if I send you the link, you can watch the video. But it's not going to show up on anybody's subscription tab. It's not going to show up on the homepage of anybody's YouTube or on the mobile app.
Invite only video.
Yes, invite only through the link. So he says he's going to make an unlisted video because he says, I've experienced this before, okay? If I request an interview with a YouTuber or with an influencer or a celebrity, you know, then they're going to make the first move, confessing and explaining while playing on emotions and crying and trying to be the victim and spin the story their way first and all of that freaking crap. So he's saying he's going to have a video locked and ready.
So if they don't cooperate, he will release it right away?
No, he's saying if I reach out to Jiyoung and her agency, she might be like, oh no, he knows. I gotta make a video first.
But if he send the video to them directly, say, watch what I have.
Yeah, and if they don't respond, then he can make it public instantly. He doesn't have to, because the amount of time for him to press a few buttons to make it public versus they have to come up with their side of the story, sit down, film a YouTube video, edit it, and then post it online. The time difference is different.
I can't believe this.
Yeah. And Jin is confused. Is Jiyoung really that type? I mean, I don't think that Jiyoung is going to be able to resolve this information with just emotional appeal to her viewers and explanations. But Jen, did you know this? Jiyoung is paying two girls she used to work with at the Hostess bar $4,300 each, totaling over $8,000 a month. Hush money. They work at the Hostess bars.
When you say Hostess bar, is it...
So they say room salon. I opted to say Hostess bar because room salon in South Korea is very much implied that it's a bar that involves sex work. Which is ita, which they call like second level. And hostess bar is kind of, you know, the bars where they spend time with the clients, but it's not guaranteed that there is after activities. She worked at a room salon. She stated that she never engaged in sex work, but they keep referring to it as a room salon, which the heavy implication is that it's almost guaranteed sex work. So I'm saying hostess bar. She did not engage in sex work, but she did work at a bar where it does involve kind of entertaining customers and pouring their drinks and spending time with them. Versus just like a bartender, here, I mixed you a drink. Okay, next.
I see.
Yes. And Jin is so confused. Oh my God, really? She's paying these girls hush money? Amazing. Wow. Okay, but look, so Jiyoung's company is doing this because she's still making a lot of money and it's more profitable for them to pay hush money, right? And Jay says, you know, for example, let me tell you what I'm scared of, right? If this breaks out, they're screwed, okay? But if I get sued, at worst, I'm gonna get a fine of maybe like a few $1,000s. So Jiyoung's company is doing this because she's still making a lot of money and it's still more profitable for her to pay these girls hush money, right? Underdog Jay says, okay, let me break it down for you, right? Even if I get sued for blackmail, okay? At worst, I'm gonna get a fine from the government of maybe a few $1,000s. If I wanna do this big, I would say, in my opinion, we should get at least $150,000 in cash from Jiyoung to keep quiet on this. $150,000 in cash? That's really good. That's good. I don't know, but again, I'm not usually someone who takes this kind of thing, so don't misunderstand too much. All of a sudden, Jay is switching up. He went from, I bought my car from hush money to, I don't really ever do this type of stuff. But wow. Jin is just ignoring him. Jin is like, I think it's actually a lot more practical and better for both sides in this case. I mean, I think it's going to help Jiyoung and her image if none of this gets out, and it's going to help us get some money, and I just feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. Underdog Jay is a little bit more pessimistic. I just have a feeling Jiyoung is going to backstab me, okay? I just have a gut feeling. I'm anxious and I'm afraid. But I mean, Jay, if they backstab us, how are they going to backstab us? Like sue us? File charges? Report us? It's not about suing. I'm afraid that they're going to expose us. Like, oh, Jay, the YouTuber asked me for money and is blackmailing. You think they'd do that? Then we need to choose our words carefully. Yeah, I'm afraid that those bastards might say that I asked them for money.
Wow, but, blackmailer is saying, oh my God, they're gonna call me a blackmailer.
Oh no. And Jin is like, well, I mean, if they start trouble with you, then it's obvious what we're gonna expose them for. See, that's what I'm anxious about, Jin. That's what I'm anxious about, because once this gets a little bit of exposure, people are gonna be like, oh my God, I bet Jay asks other people for money. Hasn't he done this before? I bet he's done this before. And then this kind of conversation continues. I mean, truly, I've never taken money to attack someone or turn a blind eye on something. I mean, I have received money before from people, but I gave all that money to the victims. So I'm gonna make a video first, and then maybe I'll give Jiyoung and her agency a call. Yeah, that's the plan. So regardless of his gut feelings, I guess he's gonna go through with it, and he's gonna call Jiyoung and try to blackmail her. And Jin is like, okay, sounds good. So after this phone conversation, the implication is that Jin is just following Jay's lead. Jay's gonna do all the work for the both of them, and Jin is gonna get a cut of that blackmail money.
Yeah.
Now, in the next phone call, Jay informs Jin that he talks to Jiyoung. He's like, I talked to her agency. I didn't talk to her directly, but I talked to her agency, and I wasn't able to get $150,000. I was able to get $7,000. And wait, Jin is like, 7?
Wait, that means they did successfully blackmail them.
Yes.
That's prison, jail.
Yeah.
That's...
And he said, I got 7 and I can give you $2,000 because you have blackmail of her working at a hostess bar. I've got crazier blackmail on her that I'm not even going to tell you. Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm going to take 5. You're going to take like $2,200. And Jin is like, I mean, I'm just so surprised it's so low. But Jay is explaining to him, I mean, I wanted to get more, but if I do, Jiyoung's probably going to get beat up.
Beat up?
Yeah, this is the part where people are like, what does that even mean, right? What do you mean? And he goes on to say, also, I heard her story, and she was like, they were just giving me her backstory, and it's kind of sad. I kind of felt bad for her. Again, what does that mean? And so all I did was ask for like $7,000, and I'll give you about $2,200. Jin just goes along with it, and he takes the money. And the truth is, Jay actually received a lot more than that. He received tens of thousands of dollars more than that. He took like $40,000 from Jiyoung. And he only gave Jin 2.
These people are crazy.
Yeah.
Like the shadiest of the shadiest people.
Oh yeah, it's really bad.
Like they're constantly trying to one up every single person around them.
Yeah.
And trying to freaking scam, blackmail, extort, like just do everything.
Like I don't think that they understand what a normal relationship with anybody is. It seems like they're literally vultures.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
그렇죠?
그래서 제가 일단 말씀드릴게. 일단 저는 그래서 이거 550을 받았고
아, 예.
그 이후에 일단 저도 영상 업로드 한 걸 좀 안 했으니까 550일 받았어요.
네네.
총 1100을 받은 거죠.
1100이요? 아,
네.
두 번 받았어요?
이게 아니라 하나는 이제 이런 식으로 유튜버들 오면 제가 연락해주는 대가.
네.
어떻게 보면 이제 리스크 매니지먼트 관리 차원에서 받은 거고.
네네.
지금 찌양 컨텐츠를 2번이나 중간에 내려버렸잖아요.
네네.
이제 그 나머지 550 같은 경우에는 이제 그 영상 콘텐츠에 대한 이제 수익 보전 차원에서 해드린 거고.
네네.
이렇게 해서 총 1100을 받았고.
The next audio clip is of Caracula, the pretty well-liked cyber wrecker that helped with the Busan Roundhouse kick case, that helped with the Parasite actor case, and Jay, Underdog Jay. The two of them are talking, and he's warning Jay. He's telling Jay, if I were you, I wouldn't go against Jiang. I mean, just think about how valuable she is to YouTube as a platform. I mean, you're not really just going up against Jiang. You might be going up against YouTube at that point. Like, that's a little bit... I mean, he's saying from a YouTube standpoint, Jiang is a giant that gives birth to golden eggs. It's better not to mess with it.
He's telling him, like, not to blackmail Jiang?
Yeah, Jay is like, I'm about to blackmail Jiang, and Caracula, instead of being like, whoa, why would you commit a crime? I'm going to expose you for committing a crime. He's saying, I wouldn't do that. I just think she's not the person to do that to. She's way too big on YouTube. All it takes is probably one call from her to her YouTube manager, and your channel is demonetized.
These people's logics are crazy.
Yeah, so he basically tells Jay, I would weigh out the options, future monetization on all your videos, or whatever number you're asking Jiang for, it's got to make sense. Like, you're risking your whole YouTube career. This number better be good then. Yeah.
I have no words.
Yeah.
Wow.
All for what? All because Jiang used to work at a hostess bar? Is that really what they're blackmailing her for, or is there something else? There is nothing I hate more than creating a meal plan for the week. By the time that I get to it, I always feel too drained to put a healthy week of meals together, to list out the grocery list needed for those meals, and then to actually go to the store. Like, all I want to do after I think about the food is sit down and relax. And it's even worse when I do have all the ingredients on hand, but the idea of cooking is just so mentally draining, and I end up ordering takeout instead. I enter this endless cycle where I've spoiled food in the fridge and my takeout bill is extremely high. I end up trying to push myself to commit to a meal planning and cook better, but then I go right back to ordering takeout. It's why I switched to Hungry Root. They have saved me hours on planning, shopping, and cooking, and it's really simple to work with them. Hungry Root gets to know you first by understanding your health goals. If you have any dietary restrictions, or they learn about your favorite foods, how much time you want to spend cooking. So with all of that information, they build you a personalized cart with all of your grocery needs for the week. Their 4-ingredient recipes have saved me so much time in the kitchen because they have meals that take just less than 5 minutes. I mean, my favorite recipe that they sent me is their sesame ginger scallops and broccoli stir fry. When I cooked this, my husband was so surprised when I walked out of the kitchen 5 minutes later. He was convinced that I ordered this from a restaurant. The best thing about Hungry Root is that it's fully customizable. If you aren't feeling a recipe that they recommend, you can choose anything you want. They have fresh produce, high quality meat and seafood, healthy snacks, smoothies, sweets, and so much more. I love that everything from Hungry Root follows a simple standard. It's got to taste good, be quick to make, and contain whole, trusted ingredients. Right now, Hungry Root is offering Rotten Mango listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/rotten to get 40% off your first delivery and get your free veggies. That's hungryroot.com/rotten. Don't forget to use our link so that they know we sent you. I swear there are way too many streaming services nowadays. If I'm itching to watch a specific show or a documentary, there's like an 80% chance now that it's on a streaming service that I don't have. I was looking to watch Connection, which is this new Korean thriller. It's a K-drama. And then I saw it's on a platform that I just don't have, which that's okay. They have a 7-day free trial, and if I just binge it all within 7 days, I can cancel the membership before it ends. Except, that's what I always say. But when I go to make an account, tell me why I already have one with them. On top top of that, I've been paying for a membership on this platform for months now, which had me thinking, if I forgot that I had this streaming service already, how many other subscriptions have I forgotten about? I tried to go through my banking statements to determine all of the subscriptions, but it just seemed so confusing, convoluted, and it was taking so much time. Luckily, my friend told me about Rocket Money a while back. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Rocket Money literally saved my bank account because they gave me a clear view of my expenses, and I'm able to see all of my subscriptions in one place, which means if I see something that I don't want or I don't use, I can just have Rocket Money help cancel it for me with just a few taps. I don't have to email anybody or phone calls to customer support. On top of that, Rocket Money even shows me my monthly spending, meaning I can see where my money tends to go. If I'm looking to stay within a certain budget or even cut down on spending money on, let's say, clothes, Rocket Money will help create a custom budget for me. With Rocket Money, they will even try to negotiate lower bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is submit a picture of your bill and Rocket Money will take care of the rest. It is just that easy. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/rotten. That's rocketmoney.com/rotten. rocketmoney.com/rotten. Back in 2020, there was a huge YouTube scandal. So there's so many scandals involved, okay? In 2020, there was a huge YouTuber incident in South Korea, and it was the biggest topic at the time, under the table ads. Now, it was revealed that a lot of the top YouTubers in Korea were not disclosing their paid partnerships. They were getting paid in cash in higher sums to just pretend like they naturally like something instead of stating outright, hey, I do in fact like this product, but just to let you know, I am getting paid. So like, you know, that could obviously sway the way that I say things, but keep that in mind, okay? Instead, these top YouTubers would act like they themselves chose to spontaneously talk about this one product that they are just so head over heels for, just over the moon for, and these brands have no idea. They have no involvement in any of the things that they're saying, and then they would get a bunch of cash under the table for it. Another huge mukbanger, Eat with Bokki, was involved in that scandal. And this YouTuber named Cham PD went out on a live stream, and he was just so fed up with all of this. He was talking about how truly, being in this industry, he's seen so much of every single YouTuber of every single size. You could be talking 1,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, 10 million followers, and they're all taking under the table ads. Cham PD was very open about the conversation as he felt that it was very unfair to viewers. He said that they were being deceived by the people that they watch.
Is he another expose channel?
No, he's like a food reviewer.
Oh.
I wouldn't really call him a mukbang. I guess he's kind of a mukbanger, but he goes to more like restaurants. He's a foodie.
Oh. And he's talking about this, like, is he exposing the issue or he's commenting?
So a lot of mukbangers were exposed for it. So he was commenting on it.
Oh.
Because he was like, yeah, I mean, I've known about this and it's just so frustrating because...
But he didn't do that.
No. No. Okay. And at that time, he listed a few names, and Jiang was on that list of names. And he says, I can name them all, you know. The Korean YouTube industry is a mess. They're all guilty of completely manipulating their subscribers. Immediately after Cham PD's live stream, all the YouTubers that he stated had to post apology videos. But later, Jiang went on to post that, no, I never did any under-the-table advertisements, and maybe Cham PD got the wrong information, maybe he didn't realize that, or maybe he didn't do his research. So regardless, this whole situation was a mess, and it's important for later, so keep it in mind. But Cham PD had to post an apology video. And then he posted another video next to Jiang. The two of them filmed a video together. So he had just accused her of doing under-the-table advertisements. Jiang said, I never did that. And the two of them sit together, and Jiang can barely hold her head up. All of her hair is covering her face. She can't even look Cham PD in the eyes. She looks terrified for her life. And he apologizes to her on live stream. He even bows to her. Cham PD was heavily bullied after accusing one of the biggest, most beloved South Korean YouTubers wrongfully of shady business practices. His family was followed. He was bullied for for years, and someone literally threw a rock at him on the street because they hated his guts. So now people are listening to this blackmail audio and they're thinking, okay, so she worked at a hostess bar. Is there more? Like, what else is going on? Is this the bigger scandal that they're referring to, that everything's getting redacted? Is she doing under the table ads still? Is this the scandal that she has to retire from? Like, what's going on? What is Underdog J keep alluding to? Because remember, Underdog J wouldn't tell Jin what he has on Jiang, but he kept saying it's big, it's big, it's big.
There's more than that.
Yeah.
More story.
He's like, oh, it's more than the room salon. Like, if I tell everyone what I know about Jiang, her career is over.
Okay.
So people are like, does it have anything to do with the 2020 ad scandal? Like, what's going on? A few hours after Kim posts the blackmail videos on YouTube, Jiang goes on live. She titles the live stream, "I will tell you everything." Right off the bat in the video, you can tell that she's not the happy, bubbly self that she normally is, which is fine considering it's a very tough topic. I mean, she's accused of a bunch of things, but obviously there's something more in her demeanor. She seems really anxious and nervous. She keeps rubbing her palms together in almost like a self-soothing manner. Like every sentence, she'll just kind of rub her hands together as if she's trying to comfort herself, and she's trying very hard not to cry. You can tell that she's clearly taking this incredibly seriously, and she's trying to be as transparent as possible. I mean, she almost sounds like she's nervously rambling in the beginning. Her voice is shaky and sore, like she's been crying all day, and she states that she wants to address this because it's becoming a bit of an issue. It's a bit rushed. She doesn't have her thoughts collected or together or anything. Nothing is organized, but she feels like she needs to be the one to tell her viewers herself. She said, "I know I turned on the live stream a bit rushed. It's a bit sudden, but anyway, I still think it's the right thing for me to do, to tell you quickly." She said that she doesn't have a script. She's just going to be talking from her emotions, and she has a few things she wrote down so she doesn't forget to share it. I don't even know how much I should share or where to start, but I have this thought. I think it's right for me to tell you how it all started and how it all ended. I think that would be the right way for me to handle it. So yeah, from beginning to end, I'm going to tell you my story. And she starts talking, not about tax evasion, not about under-the-table advertisements. She starts talking about a previous relationship that she had been in. She's taking a year off of university and she met this guy. At first, it was really nice. The relationship spiraled pretty quickly. He was treating her very well. They just kind of clicked. But soon after, he got very violent. And when she's talking about this part, you can tell it's still very fresh. Like the trauma is very strong. She keeps choking up and she has to stop multiple times to collect herself. And she keeps apologizing like, "I'm sorry, I'm going to try and be clearer with my words." She starts talking about the abuse. She says it was like hell on earth for her. And she says she took a leave of absence from university. She was trying to make money and she meets this guy, Lee Dong-hyun. And very quickly he gets violent and she immediately decides the minute he gets violent, the first time, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to stay with someone like this. I'm not going to put up with this. But when she tries breaking up with him, he laughs and shows her his phone where he has a video of her, an intimate video that she did not know he filmed. And he basically told her, "You break up with me and I'm going to spread this everywhere because you're not going to break up with me." So from there, he felt like he held all of the power. She said that after that attempted breakup, I got hit a lot. There were things that it just felt like hell. He would grab an umbrella and start hitting her, or whatever innocent random object would be around, blunt objects, he would just start beating her with it, which would explain why her bruises were not necessarily like circular. Because if you were to shield yourself with your arm and someone whacks you with an umbrella, it could be a little bit more straight and a bit of a bigger blotch.
Wait, so this is when she was already big on YouTube?
No. She is in this relationship before YouTube. And it continues for years during her YouTube career. So very quickly, she said that he dragged her to his place of work, which was like a hostess bar. And he was a manager, and he said, "You're going to be one of the girls here. You're going to be pouring drinks, and you're going to be flirting with male customers." Now, Jiang said there was no sex work involved, or at least she didn't participate in sex work. And she said at the time, while being beaten, he just forced me. He told me, you need to sit and pour drinks for customers. Just be the conversation partner. So at the time, I did the job of sitting and pouring drinks. And I couldn't tell my friends about being threatened. So I didn't even tell them when I was doing this job. And some people found out. I told them it's because I wanted to. It was just really for a short amount of time, not that long at all, that I worked at that bar. He took all the money that I earned and kept dragging me around every day. And I told my ex-boyfriend I was really sorry, but I couldn't do it anymore, that I wanted to stop. But again, he used violence and threatened to tell my family everything, so I couldn't resist. And he kept trying to gaslight her into going to work for the seedier bars, basically trying to get her to engage in sex work. And she kept saying, I don't want to. And he would explode at her. Well, how are you going to make me money then? That's when Jiang thought of doing the only thing that she could think of. A while before this, when she was still in class, she didn't have enough money for food, and everyone around her knew that she could eat. So they told her, hey, you should try Mukbang. Like, they're killing it online these days. Everybody's doing Mukbang. Maybe you can at least cover the money for food, right? She said, she told her boyfriend, I can try live streaming to earn money. I can try it that way. I can eat a lot. She starts her YouTube channel because of him. She said, I was beaten in the house that I did my very first broadcast in. She said for many years of her YouTube career, for 4 years, she had been a victim of SA, illegal filming, dating violence, blackmail, and extortion. For 4 years, she secretly went through all that abuse and was blackmailed. Her boyfriend took at least $3 million of YouTube earnings because she very quickly rose to fame.
The boyfriend took all her earnings too?
Practically all her earnings over the span of 4 years.
와우.
Yeah.
못하겠더라고요. 속기 들어보면은
네네.
너 한 번만 더 나한테 반항하면 너 임신시켜버릴 거고야부터 해가지고 어디서 씨발 뭐 출신 걸레년이 지금 뭐 손 뭐 해가지고 너 내가 퍼뜨리면 너 자살해야 돼 뭐 이런 것도 좀 심하고
네네.
그리고 그걸로 해가지고 한 13억 뜯겼어요.
Yeah. He refused to let her go. She said, I was beaten twice a day. I did videos while being beaten every day, even after the videos. He hit my body, saying my face would show signs of abuse. He took all the money that I earned from my first broadcast. My boyfriend would hit my body just to make sure that nobody can tell. And I didn't even have enough money to order the fried chicken to eat during the videos. Like, she was left with nothing. I do think that her YouTube channel was a double-edged sword. Yes, she was doing this to make him money, and he was holding that as control over her. But at the same time, she stated she really loved doing videos. She really loved the mukbangs. She said it was really the only thing in her life that she enjoyed. Even if he was taking all the money from it, she said, I love doing the videos so much, and I would be so happy reading comments, and every time I would do it and every time I would read the live stream comments, it was just so comforting, and it made me so happy that I think that I was able to endure it for so long. I mean, that was truly the biggest thing for me. I just loved communicating with viewers so much, and I wanted to keep doing it. And there were a lot of things that I couldn't tell you guys about, but I'm really so grateful to those who supported me, and I just was so grateful beyond words. Eventually, as her channel exploded, he wanted to find more ways to monetize her, basically as his captive. He created an ad agency, a management agency, where he was 70% owner and she was 30% owner. He would take 70% of all of her earnings without doing any of the work, which 30% of millions of dollars is still a lot of money, but she barely saw that too. If he wanted more money, which was all the time, he would just take it. It's unclear if she even consistently saw anywhere near 30% of her own earnings during the time that he was in control. And this is really strange, but he would even give blackmail material to his friends on Jiang and tell them, hey, if you ever need money, blackmail Jiang.
You're kidding me. This is...
Yeah.
What the...
He's letting his own friends make money from her by blackmailing her. It's so strange. She was blackmailed by his friends to the tune of $150,000. She did everything herself, filming, recording, eating, editing, everything. He did nothing. On top of that, any advertisements, like sponsorships, she would see zero revenue. Zero. She said, as my broadcast grew bigger and became more successful, my boyfriend created that agency. And at the time, I signed that very unfair contract where 70% of the profits went to him. I didn't even have my ID card. My boyfriend didn't even follow the contents of the contract. So really, I didn't receive any of the advertising revenue. The reason that I didn't think of resisting at the time was I was so ashamed that if anything negative about me was revealed, I just wanted to not be mentioned anywhere anymore. I was just really young and naive at the time. So it's fascinating because you would think that originally, once she starts getting a little bit of recognition on YouTube, she would feel a little bit more free, but it was actually a bit more daunting because the idea of something negative being released, now there's more people talking about it. It becomes a conversation, and the pressure of that, I don't even know on her scale. Her scale is insane, but even on a smaller scale, it's a lot.
It's like millions of people already know you, and that's millions of people will judge you rather than like
or be disappointed in you, or feel like you harmed them, or feel betrayed by you for whatever reason. It's just so much pressure that she starts feeling, like this pressure to be the person that her audience wants her to be. When behind closed doors, so much is happening that nobody knows about. The channel did grow to the size where they did need to hire full-time staff, which is very reasonable in South Korea. Even smaller YouTubers have like a full team in Korea. It's a very common thing. Jiyoung hires a production team, and her ex has no fear, no shame in beating her in front of them. He would just beat her. If they tried to protect her or break up this one-sided violent fight, he would start smashing cameras and monitors in the set, like in the room.
How is nobody like reported?
Because again, Jiyoung didn't want them to.
I see.
She would beg him, and she said, and because these things were happening, I really couldn't endure it anymore. So recently, I begged my boyfriend to leave, saying I would give him all the money that I had, all the assets, but the answer I always got back was, it's not enough. That's what he always said. For 4 years, he always said things like, you know you're broadcasting because of me, right? All your money is mine, and everything you earn in the future is mine too. Eventually, he starts threatening to kill staff members to have more control over her. I'm assuming by this point, so originally, maybe the first few years of her YouTube channel, she's feeling that pressure, and it actually becomes more of a chain to him that she doesn't want to disappoint her viewers. But I think at the end of the 4 years, whether it's her being emotionally fed up, physically fed up, or perhaps her YouTube channel has grown to the size where maybe it's giving her strength, like maybe her viewers are giving her the confidence that she needs. It feels like he senses he's losing his grip on her. I mean, sure, he has blackmail, but she's kind of becoming a bit of a wild card. She's the name, she's the face of the brand. She could run away and try to expose him for the truth, or she could be so fed up that she's ready to burn the house down with both of them in it. She could be at the stage where she's like, who cares if we lose it all? Let's lose it all together. He seems nervous, and he starts threatening to kill her family, her friends, and even her staff members if she doesn't do as what he says. She tries to pay him off to get him to leave her alone, and he refuses. She said that is where she drew the line, because at this point, for the past few years, she had desensitized herself to the threats. Even the physical violence, she was so desensitized, she was so detached from it. But her employees were like her family. She did not want anything to happen to them, and they were the reason that she felt like she could fight him. She said they couldn't stand watching us, that we should file a lawsuit together, that I could quit broadcasting. Even if they lose their jobs, they didn't care. And I told them, no, it's too painful for me to fight right now, and I don't want to do any of this. I beg the employees, don't do anything, okay? It's okay. It's gonna be okay. But they cared for me so much. They didn't even talk about things around me to avoid hurting me, and they were so careful with their words, and they always did everything for me. They were like family, and I didn't want to quit because of them. Honestly, even though those days were like hell, I was still so happy with the employees who loved me and stayed with me, and I loved the love that I received. I loved it so much when viewers liked me, to the point where I wondered if it was okay for me to even receive this kind of love while I was hiding everything behind the scenes. But now there's nothing that I'm hiding anymore. Yeah, everything's out in the open. This is her live stream. I'm gonna try and endure as much as I can for as long as I can. I don't want to ever bring harm to the employees who treated me like family, or their families by hiding and quitting my broadcast is not going to solve anything. So no matter how much I'm cursed at or I'm hated on after all of this, I am going to endure it for as long as I can. Jiyoung's lawyer was on the live stream with her, and she stated that they have a mountain of evidence against the ex-boyfriend. She said Jiyoung's suffering was immense and the evidence is extensive. There are over 3,800 files containing details of her victimization, and as a criminal defense attorney handling many cases, this one was shockingly severe. She also briefly mentions how when she first started taking on Jiyoung's case, Jiyoung was too scared to do anything, to even talk to her. She had to talk to Jiyoung's staff.
Wait, so Jiyoung has decided to go after the ex-boyfriend? Is that why the lawyer is saying that?
Yes. Okay. Now, Jiyoung says, so only recently was I able to become independent like this, and I don't want to be known in this way. Even if I'm a victim, I still did bad things, right? So she's saying she still technically participated in under-the-table ads because her boyfriend forced her to do it.
Oh, so she did do it?
Yes.
But earlier you say...
Oh, we're going to get there. So she's saying that she did things that she probably shouldn't have done in her career because her boyfriend forced her to.
Okay.
And so she's saying she still wants to be held responsible and she did do wrong. She is owning up to that. And she says, but I think I always had it in my heart that someday I wanted these things to be revealed. That's why I turned on this live stream so quickly today, because I haven't been free from anxiety for the past 5 years. And now I have the confidence to speak about it. I think many people will be really disappointed about me pretending to be okay all this time. I'm sorry for hiding all of this. I really just didn't want to talk about it online. So I'm sorry if you feel like I was hiding a big part of something from you. I'm really sorry, and I regret my actions and choices. I'm sorry. The one thing that I always tried to live by was don't harm others around you. So never, not even once have I ever harmed anyone. I've never done anything violent or anything like that. So, I mean, even when I was harmed, I endured to never harm others. She ends the live stream by saying, thank you. I tried really hard not to cry while watching the supportive comments, and I'm really thankful. So thank you, and thank you. And I'm really grateful to each and every one of you.
Okay, so she went live because the recording of the Blackmailed conversation was released.
So everyone is like, she worked at a hostess bar, she did tax evasion. What is this other thing that Underdog J is talking about? Like, what did she do that is so bad? So then she goes online and is like, hey, I need to tell you my story, first of all. This is why I started YouTube. This is what's been happening behind the scenes. And there have been instances, maybe we did evade taxes like the management company did, but it's because it was out of my control. So she's saying, like, we're looking into it. I don't know. I didn't have any control at that time. I don't know what he did with anything.
I see.
I was literally just like forced to make videos. So like, I don't know what to say.
Okay. So now people listening to this, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Soo-young is being controlled and abused and essayed by ex-boyfriend.
Yes. And beaten like right after she stops filming her videos every single day for 4 years.
Okay, so that was the biggest news, I see.
And as for her ex-boyfriend, is he in jail now? That's what everyone wants to know. Is he in jail? What happened to him? Well, no, because he's dead. According to Jiyoung's attorney, Jiyoung filed a lawsuit against her ex-boyfriend for habitual assaults, threats, injury, and extortion, as well as coercion and violation of the Sexual Violence Punishment Act. Jiyoung was seeking $3 million in settlement funds, stating that is how much he took from her YouTube career. She's not even asking for more money. She's like, hey, just give me the money that you literally took from my career. And she wants out of the unfair contract where he gets 70% of her earnings for the agreed upon amount of time. So Jiyoung states that she never, ever wanted to file a criminal complaint against him, but like she said, he was trying to threaten to kill her employees, so she had to draw the line. She contacted attorneys, lawyered up, filed the charges. There were 2 lawsuits against him. One of it was criminal, so the prosecutor's office was looking into him for his crimes, and then the other one was civil, which is between 2 parties. He was facing $3 million in settlement funds that he had to repay back, money he did not have because apparently he was blowing it all after stealing it from Jiang. And 2, he was facing up to 5 years in prison for all of his crimes. Now, the cases were both closed, the civil and the criminal lawsuits, because he self-exited. We don't know too many details about his self-exit, but we do know that he passed away with his mom. This is very interesting.
With his mom?
Yes. So we know that his mom and he died around the same time. Both of them died in cars, but there's no further details. Whether it was a car accident, whether it was carbon monoxide poisoning, it's unclear. And they weren't even in the same car. Yeah. So he self-exited.
They say he self-exited. Why?
Oh, he just couldn't handle it. The idea
handle the lawsuit?
Yeah, he couldn't handle the idea that he was facing 5 years in prison. His name was about to be disgraced, and he owed her over $3 million.
Really?
And it's fascinating because Jiang was in a living hell for the past 4 years of her life, getting beat twice a day with an umbrella. And the first sign of something difficult, such as, I don't know, the consequences of your own actions, he just could not handle it. One netizen wrote, "The fact that that man crumbled instantly, but this woman stayed strong though, through it all, shows how amazing that she is, how resilient." He ends up self-exiting with his mom. So the cases are closed and nobody really found out about it. This was a while back before this blackmail tape was released this year. Like perhaps a year ago.
Did she release this information or?
Her attorney did.
Oh.
Her attorney released this information. So after all of this is revealed, Jiang starts clearing things up and sharing her side of the story. And most people, I would say, almost all people were very supportive of Jiang. They just wanted to help in any way that they could. Her subscriber count surged to over 200,000 new followers in 24 hours after her initial live stream. One comment reads, "Just give life sentences to those trash who blackmail with tapes. Thank you for never giving up in your life. You're stronger than anyone I know. Thank you so much for enduring all of that. Take a good rest and we're going to be back when you get back. We will all be waiting for you." The former agency CEO is really a terrible person, dying by self-exit without facing punishment. Horrible human being. I hope he receives burning punishment in hell every single day. But a few netizens were focused on something else. They were asking, wait, then who the hell is the leak? So if the ex-boyfriend is dead, who reached out to all these YouTubers to give them blackmail material on Jiang? Because they're thinking, okay, if the ex-boyfriend is alive...
But what are they even trying to blackmail her with? They're saying basically she's like doing illegal...
That she worked at a hostess bar in the past. That she is potentially evading taxes because that's what the boyfriend was doing. And that she was probably still doing under-the-table ads, even though she said she wasn't in 2020.
I see. Wow.
Like, who would reach out to these YouTubers... like Jay and Jin, and give them these materials if it's not the ex-boyfriend, because the ex-boyfriend is dead. A while back, maybe a year back, Jiang gets a call from an attorney. And he tells Jiang's agency, he doesn't meet with Jiang in person, he meets with her producers. And he tells the producers, I'm starting a new business. I'm going to be selling air fresheners and maybe some deodorant. And I would like this to be promoted on the biggest channel in South Korea. I want Jiang to endorse my products. The producers are looking at the attorney like, first of all, what do you know about air fresheners? And second of all, I mean, this just does not align with Jiang's YouTube channel. It's just so, what is she going to do? Be eating Korean barbecue and then show off the air? It's just a little bit weird. I don't think that she's going to feel comfortable. And he says, okay, yeah, no, that's completely fine. So instead of promoting my business for me, I just want you guys to pay me about $1,200 a month for the indefinite foreseeable future.
The attorney?
Yeah. The attorney is like, hey, promote my product for free. No, you don't want to do that? Okay, then Jiang, you pay me forever. Or until I say I don't want to be paid anymore.
Okay.
So he gets paid $1,200 a month. In total, Jiang paid him $17,000. Because why? Because this attorney is one of the few people that knows the truth about Jiang's ex-boyfriend and the whole situation with him. Because this attorney was Ji Young's dead boyfriend's attorney.
He is here to blackmail her?
Yes.
A f***ing attorney is a blackmailing
Well,
her?
he says it's not blackmail. He said that he signed on, that was a retainer. He was providing advisory services for Ji Young.
What in the world?
Attorney Choi Woo-seok is the attorney for Ji Young's ex-boyfriend. When Ji Young sued her ex-boyfriend, he hires Attorney Choi.
Yeah.
Attorney Choi takes on his case. He knows all the information, of course he does, between the ex-boyfriend and Ji Young. Ex-boyfriend dies. The attorney goes to Ji Young and is like, hey, my new business, promote it.
I don't even know how to process the level of fucked up of this situation.
Yeah. No.
Number one, you are attorney. Number two, you represented a abuser and you lost the case. Your client was a fucking trash.
Yeah.
But you turn around, you're like, let me harass the victim even more for more money.
Yes.
I don't even know how to process how fucked up this is.
Yes, but it's gonna get even worse because a few months prior to him approaching Ji Young and her whole company to promote his new products, he anonymously emailed a bunch of YouTubers tips on Ji Young. Anonymous leaks. For what reason? We don't know.
This is crazy. This doesn't even sound real. Every single dude in here is trying to blackmail her.
Now, this is the public's perception. Of course, he's an attorney. What is he going to do? Blackmail me? Okay, so basically, this is the public's perception of what the attorney did. He goes to these YouTubers, emails these anonymous tips, because I will say that one reoccurring theme in today's case is it appears that some of these men just have a chip on their shoulder that a woman is doing better than them. Because truly, for this attorney, I don't know why he would email these anonymous tips to these YouTubers, because what does he gain to benefit? He's anonymous. He's not making money. So he emails Jay, he emails Jin, and is like, hey, here's some insider news about Ji Young. And then for months, they don't do anything because they're colluding onto blackmailing her. Okay? Time passes, and the attorney is like, well, I got nothing out of that, and Ji Young is doing better than ever, and I'm starting a new business. So I'm going to ask her to promote my business. Oh, she doesn't want to promote my business? Then maybe she just pays me money in cash.
Wow.
So just to recap all of this, okay? Ji Young meets a guy. He forces her to make money for him at a hostess bar. She refuses. He beats her, blackmails her, keeps her in this relationship, this violent relationship. She starts a YouTube channel to make him money. She ends up becoming a successful YouTuber. He makes millions of dollars, steals it all from her, doing none of the work, and then finally gets what's coming to him. He gets sued. He hires an attorney who does all of this, that emails two YouTubers about all of her scandalous past. These two YouTubers start talking about how they're going to get money out of Ji Young. Then another YouTuber stumbles upon these audio tapes of them committing a crime. And he hates one of those YouTubers, so he sends it to another YouTuber. That YouTuber is like, you know what? I don't want people talking about Miryang, so I'm going to use this to cover that up. Sends it to another YouTuber, and that YouTuber goes, you know what? This could be good publicity for my channel. I'm going to post it.
And what's crazy is all of them knows damn well that she's a victim in this story. And posting this is something that she didn't want this to be public.
No.
And it will ruin her whole life.
Yeah, and truly, like, what they gain from it is so stupid. Publicity, revenge on your little emotional beef between you and your buddy. Oh, sorry you're friends with essayers. Maybe you shouldn't have been. Like, what?
And this piece of audio get passed by so many big YouTubers, and
every single time you think one of them is going to come to their senses and try to do something about it, whether it's go to Ji Young herself and say, I have this, maybe you need to take this to the police, maybe I can take it to the police with you,
right,
or something. No, they look at it, they hear it, they see all the trauma, and they go, you know what, how can I use this to benefit myself? Whether it's because they want to get revenge on a former friend, whether it's they want to help their friends cover up their essay crimes of a middle schooler, whether it's they just want publicity for their political career, whether it's they want money. Like, a woman's life and career is a complete afterthought. She is just collateral damage in their hysterically emotional games that they're playing. The anonymous tipster, Attorney Choi, made a statement on his blog after all of this was exposed that he is the leak. He said, "Hello, this is Attorney Choi. Thinking about the Jay incident and the audio tapes makes me angry. Reporting tax evasion was a public tip-off that I made to a YouTuber, but I didn't expect it to be used to extort money from the YouTuber." So he's saying, I told Jay about tax evasion, but I didn't expect him to blackmail Jiyoung. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said there are many parts that are not true to this story, but regardless of the reason, I'm sorry. I can't go into specifics, but it's frustrating that for years, events have become fixed as being true based on a few phone calls with me. I intend to live humbly. I will provide free legal consultations and support for those in legal blind spots. My office is always open, so please feel free to reach out or visit. I'll offer a warm cup of coffee and assistance to those in need.
And then get blackmailed.
Oh, yeah.
By your attorney.
Yeah.
That's what anybody will get if you go to this person.
Forget attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, he will blackmail you for money.
Yeah, and guess what, Attorney Choi? Sue us, okay? Which I don't know if he has a fan, or likely he wrote this comment himself, but there's a comment under that blog post that reads, "Don't leave malicious comments here, you will be reported." The attorney responds to that comment, "I don't plan on reporting anyone. I would rather use that time to work for the public." As if he is this holier-than-thou public servant of the year. But that's not even the unhinged part. The unhinged part is that before he was outed as being the anonymous tip sender, he wrote an article about Jiyoung's case when it exploded. Right when the blackmail tapes came out, he wrote an article about it because everybody was talking about it. He wrote a legal article acting as if he had no connection to this case. He wrote, "In this instance, would a crime of defamation be established? There are two types of defamation: defamation under the Information and Communications Network Act and defamation under the Criminal Act." He's literally acting like a random attorney online that's giving their input on this mainstream media news that's unfolding. Netizens commented on this whole situation of him being involved, saying, "I feel so bad for Jiyoung. There are so many people attacking her, and to think that even a lawyer is doing it? I mean, how many people are trying to bring this girl down? Why are there so many old bastards trying to get something out of her? It's fucking scary. Ridiculous that somebody works so hard to become an attorney and then leaks information to YouTubers. Why are there so many trash, crazy people out there? Even this attorney is crazy?"
Yeah, exactly.
I feel nauseous thinking about her case. How many people are trying to get something out of a 20-something-year-old girl? I mean, my heart truly hurts. I applaud Jiyoung for getting the courage to speak out about it. I hope the rest of her life is filled with just good memories. It's so sad that we still live in a world where everything a woman has worked for, her career, her success, everything means nothing to anyone as long as someone thinks that they can call her a or has some sort of weakness about them. And to think that she is the most powerful YouTuber in South Korea makes this all more depressing. One of the main YouTubers who were involved in the initial phone call, the blackmail calls, Jin, he makes the first apology video. This is not the main guy, Underdog J. This is Jin. So he's like the one calling, like, oh.
I got like $2,000 from the blackmail.
Now, it's an apology video that he starts off by basically stating more accusations and just baseless rumors against Jiyoung. He's like, by the way, I also received other tip-offs that her voice is so raspy because she throws up after every video. And it's like, what are you doing right now? And I
don't think he can help himself.
He says it as if he's just being so transparent and stating the facts of how everything went down. But it's so clear that he's hoping to cause more harm to Jiyoung, or he's hoping that this will be the main conversation that people will talk about.
Yes. Like I think he said that because he truly believed that this will discredit her. Like this will make her seem like a liar or a fake person or whatever it is. Like he does not feel sorry. He's still trying to find a way to wiggle his room out of this.
And what makes it even more disgusting and vile is like this is not true, by the way. Like, she has multiple times had public doctor's checkups where she's like live streaming doctor's visits. They are testing her, and a lot of the doctors have even talked about very few people have conditions where they don't metabolize the food well, so they don't actually consume the calories of that. It's like in and out type of vibe, right? Even if this were true, which it's not, even if it were true, the fact that he thinks that the public will hate on her rather than feeling sympathy towards someone who potentially might have a condition that they are battling and struggling with is crazy.
Yeah, he's trying to manipulate the
audience. Yeah. What are you doing? Now, he thinks that this is going to steal all the attention away, but it's very hard to do when the rest of his video is a dumpster fire. He explains how he received a tip-off about Jiang in 2020, and he thought it was credible. It didn't really align with the content that he was producing. He was producing like, hey, this video is manipulated and staged. He wasn't really an expose social justice warrior channel talking about how YouTubers are committing tax evasion and working at hostess bars.
Is this from the attorney? I'm sorry, the tip-off?
Yes, it appears so. It's unclear. He states it was from a former roommate of Jiang's, but I'm not sure. Could be the attorney, could be a former roommate, but if it is a former roommate, that's even more depressing that there's just more bad people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because there's also the two girls at the hostess bar that are forcing her to pay hush money, remember? So there's just like literally her whole life is just being nonstop blackmailed because of what? Because of a violent ex-boyfriend who blackmailed her. And then everything just starts spiraling and she becomes this target for everyone. Yeah. He said that he didn't have direct evidence. It was just an anonymous tip-off. So he really hesitated on making a video for it. He said for the next 2 to 3 years, he went through a lot. You know, he closed down his restaurant and he moved to Seoul. And while talking to people in Seoul, he just kept hearing very negative things from other YouTubers about Jiang. And he said, at the time, I believe Jiang and her former boyfriend were on the same side, that they were both tax evaders and just bad people. And I would say that my financial hardships and my negative perception of Jiang and my assumption that other YouTubers like Jay had taken and extorted money from other people, it made me think, is it really that bad to take money from a bad person?
This guy is out of this world delusional.
He said that he would hang out with the Wrecker Union, the YouTubers, and they would always joke about how they need to stop, quote, eating money from all the people that they're extorting as a joke. And that like, hee, we're gonna go to hell if we keep extorting people. Hee, so funny. And he said he would always go home after these dinners and think to himself, wow, these people just make money so easily, and here I am. Like, what am I doing with my life? It's so hard for me to make money.
And he thinks that people's going to understand him and feel bad for him.
Precisely. It gets worse. He said, I started thinking to myself, it's not that bad since she's already a bad person, right? He goes on to state, guys, this is not a pity party. I'm not sharing all this information to like cater to emotions, but one time I went to a wedding, my friend's wedding, and this friend of mine was a very, very close friend who would help me through all the hardest times in my life. And in Korea, you give 축의금, which is straight up cash. Instead of giving gifts, usually you give up cash in an envelope. You walk into the wedding and there's a person with a table and a stand, and they have this little list, like a guest booklet, and you write your name down and you write the amount that you're giving to the couple. And I didn't have enough money to give money to my best friend during his wedding. And I even got this text message from him. And he puts a text message on the screen. And it's his friend saying, hey, China, like, did you forget to write your name down on the 축의금, like, guest list? Basically saying, I was too embarrassed and I was in so much pain that I couldn't even give money to my best friend for his wedding. A friend who really helped me through everything.
What?
Yeah.
How is that
our problem?
Also,
what does that have to do with anything?
But why do I feel like, okay, explain to your friend then.
Or how about this? Get a job. Like, you don't have to be a YouTuber. Exactly. Get a regular job.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It just seems much shadier than...
Yeah.
If this is your best friend.
He says, look, I'm not trying to give you guys a pity party with these stories. I only want to share my full story with you. This was the situation I was in at the time. which is just as goofy gets. He continues, I succumbed to the temptation and I contacted Jay. While I was talking to him, I was thinking about arranging a meeting with Jiyoung's agency, but Jay told me that he was going to handle it, so I never actually met up with the agency. Eventually, I did receive extortion money, about $2,200. This was the first and last time I received money with ill intentions during my time on YouTube. He also tries to use the fact that he got such little money as a point that he's a good person. He said, at the time, my only thought was, I guess I'm not getting a lot of money because she's already being extorted by so many people. He continues, because it was his very first time blackmailing someone, he's a good person. See, it's his very first time. He wasn't even really sure how much to receive, like how much you would even ask for. So he just like took $2,200 thinking, okay, I guess that's what the market is. Which is just, I'm smiling because this is almost he's doing our job.
He's like Dumb and Dumber. Like he's like a criminal, but like so dumb and
yeah, like I'm smiling because it would have been really annoying if he was so smart that he was actually able to use his evilness to convince people that he was somehow not this bad person, right? But he's just so dumb that he's sitting here digging his own grave.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He genuinely thinks stupidity and that it's his first time doing something is something to be proud of. He argued, if I had felt good about what I did, I would have just continued blackmailing other YouTubers for money. But instead, I didn't do that. I tried to create different types of videos that you guys might like. Like I put a lot of energy and effort into pivoting my content because he's basically saying he's struggling to make money on YouTube. And instead of blackmailing more YouTubers on top of Jiyoung, he was like, I didn't really feel good about blackmailing her. So I just as you can see, I focused on pivoting my content.
As you can see, huh?
Yeah, he continues, I did not fully recognize that she was a victim that suffered for a very long time. Okay, so this point is fascinating. In the blackmail calls, they talk about how Jiyoung's ex is accused and charged with domestic violence, basically. So clearly they know that she is a victim in some capacity. And they also talk about if I asked for more, she might have gotten beat up.
See, that's the thing. It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't.
He still don't realize, it doesn't matter who they are. You don't fucking blackmail people. That's crime. You go to jail. Yeah. So why are you keep talking about all the bullshit? Just own up to your mistake.
He won't.
Yeah,
he refuses.
He's like, oh, this.
And he states, I wrote it off. I wrote all of those conversations off of, it probably wasn't that bad. Like most people, couples, they get into these passionate fights. Like maybe I just thought that's what's going on.
What's going on? Passionate fight?
He's saying, I didn't think that Jiyoung's boyfriend was actually abusive. I thought that they just would get into passionate fights. What are you saying? I deeply regret not resisting that one moment of temptation and making a wrong choice. I am learning firsthand that committing bad deeds comes with significant consequences. Now, this next part of the apology needs to be studied by the American Psychiatric Association and placed into the DMC-6 or something because I don't even know how to describe it. He says, but regardless of the situation, the fact that so many people are supporting and rooting for Jiyoung now is such a relief to me. I know it really isn't my place, but I hope that Jiyoung will continue with her success and not be burned by others and will be happy. He said in light of the situation, he does try to look for the silver lining of things, and he gets to defriend all the cyber wreckers. He didn't really want to be friends with them anyway, so this is a good way for him to not be friends with them anymore. He also had this image on YouTube, he said, that made him uncomfortable. People thought he was kind of this moral guy, good guy. And it was a lot of burden for him, and now that reputation is gone, so... And he was also trying so hard to hide his financial wreck status from everybody. But now that's out in the open as well.
Wait, I'm so sorry. He said people thought I was a good guy, and that's burdensome to him.
Yeah. To live up to
you
this
must be
standard.
a really fucking shitty guy to be burdened that people thought you were a decent guy.
Yeah.
That is a crazy statement to be made.
And the fact that
he's like, I can't believe people think I'm a good guy. I'm evil. So the fact that I was stressed. Now that everybody know that I'm evil, I feel relieved because I am evil.
Now that you pointed out that way, it's
that is crazy statement.
And the fact that he's I was trying so hard to hide the fact that I was broke from everyone, and now that that's out in the open too, it does feel better. He's like, it does feel like a weight has been lifted off of me. He also states that the video was uploaded a little later than he wanted because for the past few days, since all of this news broke, all he's been doing is sleeping. He said, it's not because I was talking to Jay and Caracula and trying to figure out how to get our story straight or trying to figure out the best way to play this. It's truly because every day for the past 3 days, all I did was avoid reality. I slept all day. I ate just one meal a day. The just eating one meal a day, he also says it like everyone is going to fall to their knees and start babying him in the comments. The way he says it is very like hunky, like one meal. Netizens naturally wanted to light his apology on fire. It feels very much like he's trying to justify his actions because he believes other people are so much worse than me, so I'm okay. Because remember, this is the guy that runs the YouTube channel figuring out which videos are staged or manipulated. It's called Chujak, and one netizen commented, why couldn't you detect the Chujak of Jay receiving $39,000 and burning your life for just $2,000, bro? LOL. Jay received $40,000 basically, okay, but lied about receiving $7,000 and gave you like $2,200. LOL. Another comment reads, I don't know at all that you're struggling financially. Like, I don't care. Why are you explaining it in such detail? Wedding gift money? Ha 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 ha. What do you want me to do about it? Why are you selling your feelings? Ha ha. Another one reads, so what he did throughout this whole video was 1, I didn't know. 2, I didn't have money. 3, it's my first time, okay? 4, I'm being treated unfairly. 5, I'm having a hard time. I only ate one meal. 6, I'm not that bad of a person.
Yeah, that's basically what he said.
Yeah. Another netizen comment just reads, honestly, he just seems like the biggest idiot out of the 3.
Yeah, that too, yes.
Now, Underdog Jay, goes on to address the situation through a video as well. If he were to sit there and tell you on camera that he sprouted a second nose on his forehead, I believe that would hold more truth than the video that he actually posted. The whole thing smells like bullshit. I think there is a fine line between confidence and pure delusion. I think Jay has never even seen that line because he is so far deep in Delulu land. He is sitting with confidence in front of the camera and with his full chest, he explains, this is not a case of Jiyoung being blackmailed by me and by YouTuber Jin. This is a case of 2 scam artists, YouTuber AK and YouTuber Pan. The first 2 that received the blackmail footage. So AK gets it from Jay's phone and gives it to Pan.
See, all of them are pointing finger at someone else.
Yeah.
And saying that, no, they are the messed up one.
First, AK, the YouTuber, former friend of his, took his phone and illegally obtained a copy of the audio. Second, Pan, the YouTuber allegedly using his story to cover up for his alleged essayer friends involved in the Miryang 44 case. This is them, okay? Speaking of, the title of this video is, I will report AK and Pan for their second assault incident against Jiyoung. It's not an apology, it's a video about AK and Pan. He says, this is truly about how they victimized Jiyoung a second time. This is not about him. This is how they illegally obtained recordings to expose private matters, to open Jiyoung's wounds, just to what? Explain themselves, feel better about themselves, get revenge, to cover up for Miryang 44. He states, I indeed did in fact receive money from Jiyoung. However, I did it. I received the money to give it to other YouTubers who are blackmailing her. I am the middle man. I was going to use $40,000 that she gave to me to give to YouTubers who were trying to make videos on her so that they could keep her past a secret. I was like a consultant. He said that on the phone call with Jin, the audio that was released, I had to pretend to be the bad guy in order for him to confess all of these things.
I don't know what to say. Wow.
I had to guide them into believing that this was all they could get and that I was on their side, okay?
Does he think we're dumb?
Yes, absolutely. Because he says it with his full chest for 20 minutes straight. I just wanted them to leave her alone, and once they get their hush money, they'd be gone. I just needed to act like one of the bad guys. I acted like a double agent. That's what I was doing. I got money from Jiyoung, not because I was blackmailing her, but because I was a double agent. He said if he needs to apologize right now in this situation, what he did wrong is he failed to protect Jiyoung's right to keep her pains hidden. That's what he said he did wrong. He couldn't protect her forgotten rights. I mean, you have to give it to him. He is fully committed to his stupidity. He is married to this dumb story. This is his story and he's not backing down. He said he received an anonymous tip about Jiyoung's past. We now know that anonymous tip to be the ex-boyfriend's attorney, but he received it. And he said that he would normally ignore stuff like this. But it seemed credible. And the anonymous tipster was able to provide incredibly specific details, claiming that Jiyoung was forging documents, accusing her ex-boyfriend falsely of domestic violence, bullying small businesses, used to work at a hostess bar, doing all these things that go against her image of being this nice girl online. Which, I mean, you would expect him to immediately, as a cyber wrecker, make an expose video on Jiyoung, right? Well, he said it was odd. The way that the anonymous tip was written was almost like a step-by-step manual on how to film a YouTube video. It was basically like, step one, this is what it was just so organized, so neatly.
You know what that made me think of? I thought the attorney shared that information because it's almost like, hey, you make YouTube video on these people, let me give you this information, and you maybe can pay me money or whatever as an exchange, right? But instead, he shared that information anonymously.
Yeah.
So he's not getting anything in return.
Exactly.
So
it's the
he's just trying to ruin her.
Yeah.
That's all.
And then he's like, well, she didn't get ruined, so I might as well get some money out of it. I think that he is just very upset that a woman is doing better than him.
Yeah.
But look at why she's doing better than you. You are an ass attorney. He said it was like a step-by-step manual on how to get the most damage on Jiyoung in a YouTube video. Essentially, it felt very odd. It felt like a script was handed to him, basically. So not only that, but Jay's fellow YouTuber friends, other cyber wreckers, were calling him up, and they all had gotten similar emails from a leak, but they were about different crimes that Jiyoung had committed, quote, crimes, right? So all of them are getting information, and he reaches out to Jiyoung's agency to tell them, hey, these are so oddly specific. I think you got a mole on your team or something. Someone that works with you or used to work with you is out here sabotaging you. This is his story. This is fake, I think. Jiyoung and her agency asked him for help to find the identity of the anonymous tipster and to figure out all the YouTubers that are foaming at the mouths to incorrectly expose her on these things. And Jay's like, you know what? I will help you. I will take you on for, quote, risk consulting. So he takes $40,000 for his risk consulting services. That's what he says, but it's very much likely it was just blackmail because they did need a contract and they can't write blackmail on the contract.
Yeah.
So they wrote risk consulting.
For $40,000. What are you talking about right now?
Yeah. And he starts reaching out to all the YouTubers that received anonymous tips to see what they were going to do with the information. And he said, the controversial recording the YouTuber Jin happened while I was building rapport with these YouTubers who had negative feelings towards Jiyoung to obtain all of this information. All the information I gathered was handed right over to Jiyoung's agency. At the time, I foolishly thought that paying YouTubers was the only way to stop them from exposing Jiyoung and making videos. I even used my own money to pay. I paid some of these YouTubers with my own money. And then when I didn't have any more money, that's when I reached out to Jiyoung and they gave me money, $40,000 to pay. Wow.
He's still trying to be a hero, huh?
Yeah, and he said, I just feel bad because I haven't been able to perform that task properly, obviously. So therefore, I will return the full amount to Jiyoung as soon as possible. He states, I'm sorry for not being able to protect Jiyoung's right for this incident to be forgotten. What I'm clearly stating is, I swear to the heavens that I have not done anything to be ashamed of, and I will do my best to stay by Jiyoung's side to protect her rights. Let me say this again. I have not received any money through shameful means, nor have I acted in a shameful way. Please just wait one day. Just as always, I will come out as the winner in the end. Which is his version of events. It's a bizarre hero complex trope at best. At worst, it's fully re-victimizing Jiyoung and spreading lies to clear his name so that he can continue making dirty money. And netizens were confused on how someone could be so confident stating such a bold-faced lie. They commented, so in conclusion, he did not expose Jiyoung himself, but instead received $40,000 to help make sure nobody else exposed her. But because he was recording himself and gave his phone to his former friend AK, who along with Pan revealed the audio recordings, he accidentally appeared like the bad guy while everybody else caused Jiyoung secondary harm. This is just like the most coinky-dink, oopsie, I'm actually not the bad guy story. Am I getting this right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
He also posted pictures of the contract for risk consulting that he has with Jiyoung's agency, and a few netizens pointed out the contract date for him receiving money from Jiyoung to help her and her agency figure out who's spreading these malicious lies was February 27, 2023. The audio recording of him and Jin plotting to blackmail Jiyoung is February 20th, 2023.
Wait, say that one more time.
He signed the contract with Jiyoung's agency 7 days after the blackmail audio tape. So he's like, no, I was pretending to be bad on the audio tape to build rapport. It's like...
Yeah.
So he's already working for Jiyoung before he's working for Jiyoung? Because he said that it was only after talking to Jiyoung and finding out the truth, he felt like, oh, I'm on her side. I'm going to help her. But he hadn't talked to her yet.
Yeah.
So what does any of this mean? Netizens have commented on Jay's very fascinating brain and how it should be studied. They commented, it costs money to protect her painful, forgotten rights, eh? Is that why you blackmailed her? I guess it costs $40,000 to protect someone's rights now. Another netizen pointed out, it seems like he's playing both sides. Maybe he initially made it seem like he was the good guy to Jiyoung's people till they found out that he wasn't, which is honestly worse.
Right.
So he might have not been like, hey, I'm blackmailing you. He might have told Jiyoung like, I'm gonna help you.
Right.
Which honestly is worse.
Right. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, that makes sense.
They say for Jay, it seems at best, if we say it as nicely as possible, he's basically running a racketeering scheme, forcing businesses to pay him a protection fee to operate.
Yeah.
Another netizen just said, a double agent? Please go see a therapist. But also, if Jay's story is true, why did Jiyoung and her attorneys file a complaint with the Seoul Central District's prosecutor's office against Jay, Jin, and the no longer anonymous tipster? Another thing that's very fascinating about Jay that people have pointed out is that none of this would have been known had Jay not recorded all of his calls with other YouTubers. But it turns out he was so deep in the business of blackmail and extortion that he recorded basically every phone call, just in case. He was so desperate to be able to blackmail them one day, to have leverage on them, that he was willing to record himself committing a crime. One netizen comments, if you're going to record yourself blackmailing someone, maybe learn how to take care of your phone a little bit better.
And that's so fascinating because I'm assuming AK made a copy of Jay's phone, probably with blackmailing intent.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why the hell would you... You're digging for something to blackmail someone. So all of these people are just the shittiest of...
The shittiest people.
Yeah.
Another one just said, I think Jay should be eradicated. We should just douse him with pesticides and get rid of him. Caracula broke his silence. This is the one that gave advice. He is like the more well-liked cyber wrecker. I wouldn't say he's like beloved. He's not like Jiyoung where most people like him, but he was a little bit more well-liked. He did have previous controversies, but you know, he was the one that gave advice that Jiyoung is the golden goose that lays the golden eggs, so maybe don't blackmail her. He broke his silence after the whole incident, and he posted a paragraph that reads, I had a fever in the morning and last night, so I took some medicine and fell into a deep sleep. I woke up this morning to 40 missed calls and my YouTube channel filled with hate comments, and I'm all over the news as if I'm a son of a bitch who took money under the table. I'm not sure if this is a dream or reality, but my head is in a daze this morning. I'm not sure if this is revenge for my coverage on another incident that I think Kim and Jay didn't like, but he writes, Jay and Kim, are you sure you can handle this war? It seems like he's mad at Kim because he's the one that exposed the audio. He's mad at Jay because they were supposed to be friends, but then he recorded the whole conversation. And that's the recording that was leaked in the first place.
And he said, you guys want war?
He writes, are you guys ready? You can handle this war? Are you sure? Because the person who has nothing to lose isn't as scary as the person with a lot to lose who's willing to lose it all.
He posted a threat?
I swear on my two sons that I've never received any dirty money. This is the only thing I'm proud of as a YouTuber. which is like the bar is so low. I'll be putting a pause on the scheduled content and quickly return with evidence proving my innocence. Please put your neutral helmets on, viewers, and wait for me. I'm not going to go down like this. For whose benefit? Then he posts a YouTube video stating that he is being slandered, accused of being a blackmailer. He says in the video that he did not receive a single cent from Jiyoung. He ends the video by sending a public request to Jiyoung and her legal team asking for help in resolving how unfair he feels the situation is. Netizens obviously do not like this. His request in and of itself is ridiculous. What do you mean you're sending a public request? Why should she do anything for you? Why should she give you the time of day? Why are you putting the responsibility on her?
Yeah.
Soon afterwards, Caracula has announced his retirement in a YouTube video. He said, after being active as a YouTuber for the past 5 years without rest, I am stepping down to convey my sincerity. All recent allegations are my fault. I foolishly responded by involving innocent kids out of fear after being accused of being a blackmailer overnight. If I had known about Jiyoung's heartbreaking past while talking on the phone with Jay, I wouldn't have spoken so lightly about, blackmail her, not blackmail her, even if it was a personal call. This was inconsiderate and wrong on my part. I have never conspired to threaten or take money. I really hope everyone believes me on this. He tries to explain one time that he took money and...
Wait. I thought you said he never took money.
He says it was not blackmail money, kind of. He said, okay, it's somewhat paraphrased for clarity, but he said that he was receiving money from a person known as Suit, who's currently in prison for fraud. He said in 2021, my channel was about cars, which is why my channel name is Caracula, car and Dracula combined. And it was not about social issues back then. I introduced Suit to another businessman, and the two of them were gonna raise money for a new business, and they gave me $22,000 to provide media attention to their business. I use that money personally.
What the? So you took money?
Yeah.
And you spent the money... Personally. You stole the money that's supposed to be for marketing and you used it to do your own shop. Like, what? But
he's justifying it by saying Suit's business turned out to be a scam and he's now in prison.
So that makes him innocent.
Yes. Got it. Because, if they're bad people.
Yeah, so that he didn't take the money.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that never happened. It's like two negatives equal a positive.
Right, okay. Right?
And he says A is also on trial for a crypto-related case, so, And he said, I wanted to hide all this, but I won't conceal my crimes anymore, and I will fully cooperate with the investigation. If I'm to be punished, I will accept it willingly, and I'm truly sorry. I have ruined myself and will, for the rest of my life, live in reflection and repentance. The prosecutor's office came out with a statement that they will start actively reclaiming revenue earned by YouTubers through spreading fake information or malicious content. YouTube has also demonetized most of their channels. Caracula, Jin, and Jay's YouTube channels demonetized.
Wow. So that means YouTube has officially got involved.
Yes, because it goes against their partner program policies. And you have to be a YouTube partner to monetize your videos.
What part goes against? Is it blackmail?
Yeah,
goes against the
it's
policy?
Like the crime and extortions.
So after he got demonetized, he say, I retire.
Yeah, a lot of them just retired after they got demonetized.
Right, okay. It's not you. Okay, you got fired.
Basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the prosecutor's office is saying that they're going to be reclaiming revenue earned by YouTubers that spread fake information or malicious content, which on surface level sounds great because if they can reclaim some profits, maybe they can give it to the victims. Some netizens really supported it initially, but it's too good to be true, right? Other netizens are concerned. They comment, in other words, sure, this case, but think about all the other cases. In other words, all channels the prosecutors find offensive will be considered criminal channels and they can claim profits from them.
So they have control.
Yes. And another comment said, there's so much room for this to be abused. If the prosecutions can claim profit as proceeds of crime for defamation, it means they can pressure the political channels that criticize the government or their work.
Yep.
Another comment reads, so they want to bully YouTubers who talk shit about them, and they're using this case as the excuse and the example. So it's getting very messy. The Bar Association is investigating attorney Choi, the one that leaked the information to the YouTubers. Some people say that he might not actually get in any trouble because technically there is no attorney-client privilege since A, the client is dead. Additionally, he did not leak any information that I guess is unfavorable to the dead client. And Jiyoung was never his client. He also signed the contract with Jiyoung to be her advisor after he already leaked the information to YouTubers. Which is morally even more disgusting, but legally it could help him, is what a lot of netizens are concerned about. And this just feels like a case of a bunch of men feeling like they could take a piece of Jiyoung, that they're all just trying to exploit her weaknesses, her victimization to further victimize her. Like they look at this successful woman who has already been victimized to hell and back, and they think, how can I get something out of her next?
Exactly.
One netizen sums it up pretty well, and they say, so Jiyoung was simply in the middle of a fight amongst nasty ass men. And yeah, I will say this case made me lose a lot of hope in men, except remember Chan PD, the YouTuber who in 2020 was talking about all the under the table ads? Well, the truth is Jiyoung did do under the table ads at the time because her boyfriend had forced her to. Chan PD made that video where he exposed Jiyoung of doing it, and after that video was released, Jiyoung's ex-boyfriend called Chan PD in the middle of the night and stated that yes, Jiyoung did take those ads, but I'm gonna kill her and I'm gonna kill myself. And Chan PD is like, what are you talking about? And he's like, unless you can help me put an end to this, we're both gonna die.
Wow.
Chan PD lies on camera after that. He posts an apology video where he says that his information was wrong, and Jiyoung did not take under the table ads. He goes on a live stream with Jiyoung, and even though he wasn't wrong, it didn't matter to him because Jiyoung's life was in danger. I don't think that he knew that the ex was abusing Jiyoung to that extent, but clearly he's a very scary person if he's threatening to, self-exit with her. He just thought, I can't let her die. And so in that video where he apologizes to Jiyoung, they're both sitting at the table and Jiyoung is crying. She's very emotional, and it makes him appear worse because a lot of the comments at the time said, look at everything he's putting her through. For what? Fake information? He just wanted to spread lies on women. And the truth is, Jiyoung was so sorry that he was doing this for her and terrified that her boyfriend was going to kill her and emotional about the shitty situation that she was in, that she couldn't even look at him. And because when you're so guilty and you feel so bad someone is doing this for you and like basically ruining his career for her, she couldn't even look him in the eye. At one point, he bows to her, apologizing, and you see her almost shake her hands like this. Like, no.
Like, don't bow to me.
Yeah, like, don't bow to me. Like, no, you didn't do anything wrong. But she can't say anything because her ex is threatening to kill her. He continues to apologize, and during that time, he received over 80,000 malicious hate comments, and he was physically assaulted. A viewer threw a rock at him on the street because they hate him. He was just the most disgraced YouTuber for a long period.
And he never said anything.
No. And Jiyoung was able to gain her career back after that because people actually rallied behind her.
How? And this information was shared when?
By another YouTuber who seems to have audio conversations between them. I don't know if a friend leaked it or something, but there's a phone conversation after all of this. And it's Chan PD talking to Jiyoung, and he basically says, it's okay because I was able to save someone. And I'm a business person, so even if I don't do YouTube anymore, I will make a living doing something else. And Jiyoung is profusely apologizing to him, and he just tells her, you don't have to worry about me. How's your health? You don't have to feel guilty. It's a happy ending if you keep brightly doing your broadcast for the fans who have been waiting for you. I'm much older than you, and I have a lot more experience in society, and I can endure it. I hope you stay healthy and you spread your positive energy to others. Personally, as a fan, I would love to see you broadcast again soon. Because she keeps apologizing, and he keeps reassuring her, if you keep worrying about me and thinking about the attacks on me, everything we've done becomes meaningless, okay? That just makes it harder for both of us. Just take care of your health and stay mentally strong, and don't pay attention to the trolls and haters. You have lots of good fans around you, and fans who truly love you. You felt that a lot, right? This time you felt the fans' love, so stay strong, okay? I want you to do well, Jiyoung. And rest well and make sure to eat properly, okay? Thankfully, he's getting a lot of love now. I I don't think he's addressed the situation at all. He's just posting his little food review videos. And people are like, how can there be such horrendous people on the same platform as Jiyoung and Champidi? And Jiyoung's team, they seem like her protectors as well. They never really get the recognition because they're behind the camera, but it seems like they were the ones that gave her the strength to even get an attorney. And Jiyoung herself, she's a survivor. While all these other men involved, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that there are acceptable words in any language to describe what they are. To them, they see a woman's success and they can only think, how is that going to benefit me? How can I take that from her? How can I get a piece? Back in 2021, and this makes me even more upset, a netizen even suspected that something strange was happening with Jiyoung. In 2021, they wrote in an online forum, Jiyoung seems a bit naive. I don't know, something about her videos. It feels like a bear that is doing all the work while someone rich behind the scenes is making all the money. I mean, have the people that work for her and her channel, have they ever been revealed? Like her business? Who is their manager? Does she have some sort of agency? I don't know how else to put it. It just feels like she's doing all the work and someone else is profiting. Mm-hmm. The comments on that post in 2021 were flooded with disagreeers. They said, I actually think it's the opposite. I think it's her trying to be perceived as naive. Honestly, I think she seems more calculating to me. She's a bit more of a fox than a bear. I think she's really good at manipulating her viewers and making it appear that she's this innocent girl. But she's a crazy, clever, cunning businesswoman. She's very manipulative is the feeling, not naive. Another comments, I think the OP is more naive. She's not naive. Trust. She's making money. It's crazy how even when someone noticed something odd, the comments are not even giving the idea the time of day. They are so quick to say that a successful woman is manipulative, sneaky, cunning, and all these things, and that she's pretending and acting and she's pulling the wool over on her viewers' eyes. Yet maybe she's just a nice girl who really enjoys food. Okay, and maybe she's going through a lot behind the camera. One netizen comments, and this is after the abuse was made public. Jiyoung got involved with the manager of a hostess bar while working there, LOL. That's why she's willing to pay and cover everything up with money until this incident broke out. Jiyoung, stop trying to cover up your establishment work history with all of this. What forced work are you talking about? Another comment, let's be real, Jiyoung met her boyfriend while working at the room salon, LOL. You're saying the ex-boyfriend forced her to work? Don't make up stories now just because he's dead. Another comment reads, honestly, this whole situation can be summed up like this. Jiyoung comes from a room salon background. She endures violence because she loves a guy and even tolerates being secretly filmed in sexual situations without pressing charges. She and the others are all birds of a feather. Another comment reads, what's so great about Jiyoung that she's allowed to destroy so many people around her? She should have behaved better from the start and none of this would have happened. Another comment reads, I find everyone hard to believe. Jay because of his past controversial behavior, but even Jiyoung. I wonder if we can truly trust her just because what? A few tears and a few pieces of evidence? Another one reads, if you look at this closely, Jiyoung was blackmailed about her past, but instead of reporting it, she gave money. It's clear there's probably something bigger she wants covered up. Aww. Her ex self-exited, so if Jiyoung says she's the victim, then the story is she's the victim. To me, they all just seem like the same kind of people. One comment from Jiyoung's video reads, from now on, we ban your I'm sorry. Those who should apologize are walking around with their heads held high, and why is the victim apologizing? Let's stop doing that. So I would say that most people are supporting Jiyoung and they're rallying around her. And we don't know if she's going to come back soon or later with her regular content, but I hope she is doing well. And that is the very complicated case of Jiyoung. I did see some coverage of the case in English, and I do think that the biggest element of the case, obviously, is Jiyoung's story and her abuse. But I think even the re-victimization of the blackmail and just the series of people, because her ex-boyfriend, I'm so sorry to say this, is dead. And I think that that can give closure so that he can no longer hurt more victims and victimize other people and continue to victimize Jiang. Whereas these YouTubers, they're very much around and they can victimize more people. They can continue doing these deeds. And I think that
they have influence. People will listen. Yeah.
And they have money, it seems. So I do think that that is something that needs to be talked about. It's not just her ex-boyfriend. It is a series of really bad people that took advantage of Jiang. What are your thoughts on this case? Did you know that it went this deep and this dark? Let me know in the comments. I'm sorry if it got a little bit confusing, and stay safe. I will see you in the next one.